Hi guys, I'm Marcel. Welcome back to The Pulse. Now, yesterday, you probably heard the news by now. Amazon informed supplement companies that are selling any products with NMN as an ingredient in their products, they need to be removed from their platform by March 13th. Now, this isn't what you think it is. This isn't because, or maybe thinking it is, this isn't because of fake NMN or selling NMN that's been adulterated or has less in it than has been reported on the container. This is because they cited, at least as far as we know, what they did is they cited the FDA's decision, which was a few months ago now, to no longer recognize NMN as a dietary supplement. Strange that it took 4 months. Not sure why. They don't explain why. There was a hesitation at first, and then maybe they were waiting to see what would happen. Maybe there's some other pressures. I'm still believing that they have and are aware that companies are selling fake NMN on their platform. I'm not trying to say that this isn't because of FDA's decision, but Dan Fabricant talks again in Natural Products Insider about this topic. He's quoted as saying all kinds of things about this topic, and he says this is very premature as we are unaware of any final agency action on the matter. Amazon should restore sales of NMN on their platform immediately. We are in a state, it seems, with NAC, where they came up with an enforcement discretion. We are in a sort of de facto state of enforcement discretion. Nothing has happened. So it's odd. The timing seems a little odd. They did the same thing with NAC, but we know more than we did then about the willingness of FDA to go to court over these substances. So it seems a little odd. It seems a little out of place this time that Amazon now dropped NMN, at least from my perspective, looking at it. I wasn't watching it as closely with NAC, so that could just be a repeat. As far as repeating, Fabricant also says FDA's habitual neglectful abuse of the law should scare anyone in the dietary supplement industry. He said FDA can pull an AKL, which is an acknowledgement letter, once without foundation. If they can pull it once without foundation, which they've done a few times now apparently, what's to stop them from doing it again and again and again? As we've spoken about before, Fisetin, any supplements that could be viewed as beneficial, a drug company could make a form of it and go out and say, hey, this is our drug. We know NMN was sold on the market. Maybe it wasn't, it was self-certified through a GRAS certification. And I think that's what's going on, playing out behind the scenes right now. They're making these claims. Supplement companies are saying, listen, we self-certified for GRAS, at a date that's earlier than when the submissions were made by some companies for NMN as a supplement. So a lot of legal wrangling going on. Seems odd. Folks, NMN is still for sale at many outlets. Do Not Age sent out an email blast pretty quickly, but they're based in the UK. But also U.S. companies, ProHealth, Longevity, and others are still selling NMN. I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think anything has changed. There's been no enforcement action taken other than these AKL letters. And I think I would still stand by what I said even 3.5 months ago. Stock up on enough NMN that you feel comfortable for a year or two even. So that if things do get crazy, you're going to have your NMN for a while until something can be sorted out. Because if we could be in a legal limbo, there could be a moratorium on it while the legal issues are decided. We just don't know how it's all going to play out. So better safe than sorry. I don't think the need to panic should be there, although, again, there was a spike in sales on NMN, I was told yesterday again. So it's kind of the second round. This is sort of playing out where maybe a lot of people got, a sense of security. I'm not going to call it a false sense of security because, I still believe the NMN supply is secure. I think you guys, especially if you're buying from a safe source, clearly. I think the unsafe sources are probably starting to sense some heat. Like there's more attention on NMN. This could be good for the companies who are legitimately selling NMN, who have nothing to fear. But the companies who are selling fake NMN, like there's more spotlight on the supplement now. So it might not be so good for the bad players. Fabricant also described FDA's behavior as inexcusable. He also said his trade group will use every available resource to ensure the agency is again accountable to consumers and the industry, just like we did with NAC. They threatened legal action, and FDA backed off. There is a significant legal fund in place to fight for NMN, and I think several funds from different entities. There are different trade organizations that are lined up, ready to fight for NMN, and there are large supplement companies who also have lawyers on retainer who can fight FDA in this decision. So I think things are there. We're not in a weak position as an NMN community. There's probably more things we could do. Maybe we should be joining one of these trade organizations, even though we're not a supplement company. Maybe we pool our resources and try to join one of them as a member to have a little more voice and express a little more voice from this community. I would love to point, not just to grow the community, but certainly that's part of a goal that I have, is to grow the community. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this with your friends. But maybe there's more of a role we could play. This is uncharted waters. Nobody knows for sure how much influence a YouTube community can or cannot have. I can just tell you, as I've said before, a large number of industry executives have reached out to me. And now recently scientists have reached out to me to be on the channel. And, Dr. Shi, Dr. Brenner, they wrote me initially. So, and I'm pointing that out because there was some backlash on Dr. Brenner's at the comments he made at the end, which were really unsubstantiated. I mean, he had to go. We were on for over 45 minutes with the pre-call, and he had other things to do, and he offered to come back on. So he offered to come on to begin with, and then he offered to come back on. So he made sure that we had enough of it recorded for the audience. He was concerned with having his opinions voiced to this audience. And I can only, again, thank him for that. He wasn't stiff-arming me. Wasn't trying to pull rank or anything, say, I got to get out of here. That just wasn't the case. By the way, he mentioned Fisetin. I asked him about it, and he mentioned that he didn't see a big need for it. Now, I do see a need for it because I feel so great. But I took into account his point about Fisetin, where he said, look, we need some senescent cells to fight infection. And I'd heard that before, so I said, okay. So I made one more change to Fisetin. I decided to only take it 2 capsules because that's when I feel a really good benefit. I could take 3 or 4. It kind of feels like overkill, like I feel that much energy. But 2 is a real boost, especially if I only take it on a heavy workout day. So this is kind of iteration number 3. I've changed my approach one more time to Fisetin. I've been taking it since last summer, nonstop, but in different ways. I'm trying different periods of it and different amounts of it. And what I've tried since I heard from him, okay, I need some senescent cells to fight infection. Fair enough. Let me see if I could use this on the days when I have a tennis tournament, which I did last Sunday. It worked glowingly. I won both matches, and I played for 4 hours, and I never gave out. And my opponent, especially the second match, was done. Halfway through, I think he was done. So that worked for me. And then I took it again when I ran 3.5 miles this week. So I'm going to use it on my heavier workout days. For now, so far, it's gone really well. I haven't felt any significant energy dip on the in-between days, and it's worked really well on those heavier workout days. So I'm a big fan of Fisetin, huge fan. After NMN, TMG, which I consider pretty essential, I'm a big, big believer in it. Now I want to switch gears and talk about Urolithin A. It sounds similar to a senolytic in that it can help reduce inflammation. It can help fight the cellular senescence issue, but it does so through the mitochondria, and it does so through your gut flora. And you can get Urolithin A made in your body. It's a byproduct of a function that happens in your gut flora When you eat things like raspberries, pomegranate juice, which has been known to be healthy for a long time, extremely healthy, and this is one big reason. And it's very healthy for your mitochondria. It basically, when you induce mitochondrial gene expression, this is a process called mitophagy. And urolithin A is something that goes on that your body makes when you eat certain things. And so taking it, not everybody's microbiome can produce it, or at least enough. And there are a number of benefits. Looked into this. First of all, safety issues, none. There are no safety problems. As a matter of fact, it is listed by FDA as a safe dietary ingredient. So they've done something for us. I'm going to list the benefits again. I listed them in my last video. I'm going to try it and see if I feel any difference. See if I feel, maybe, this is something I can do all week where I kind of pulse that Fisetin certain days. Maybe this is something I could do all week. Now, the dosage is 500 milligrams. Each capsule is 250, similar to other Do Not Age capsules. Nothing new here. This is a small one. This is about a month's supply. They've tested it up to a gram, so that's double a normal daily dose, and it was completely safe. There have been no safety issues that have come up. Could increase your athletic performance, something that's important to me. Now, I've reduced my athletics over the winter. I'm in a ramp-up period now where I'm running more, I'm playing more. It's been paying off big time for me. There was increased lifespan in worms. I don't have the specifics on that. I don't know how much. Again, like I mentioned, I got to tell you something real quick, doubling back to Dr. Brenner. When we talked in our pre-call, things got a lot more relaxed after I made the point, because I think he sees the anti-aging movement as living longer. And he's like, there's no such thing, as the fountain of youth. And we've been looking for it for centuries and nobody's found it. Well, I said, that's not what I'm looking for. I said, I run this channel because I want to feel like myself as long as I can. And that's what things like resveratrol, which he didn't agree with from a biochemical standpoint, but I shared with him and he was very gracious and listened to everything I said. And then I said, NMN has done even more for me. So when we talk about anti-aging, we're talking about anti-bad aging, right? We want to live a better life. And if urolithin A does that, great. I am in a weird position because I don't feel the need to take something right now. It feels so great, but I have so much trust with Do Not Age, I'm going to give it a shot. It's something different. It seems like a bit of a different approach. There are some similar things to other supplements that come up here. It looks like the pathway may be a little different. You guys can chime in. Urolithin A has been out. It's not new. It's been out for a while, and there have been a lot of good studies done with it already. What Do Not Age typically does, and this is my perspective, not verbiage from them, is they look at different supplements that are proven. The only exception maybe that I see is SIRT6 activator, which they came up with themselves. They were the first to introduce that one with Vera Gorbanova. The other supplements, they've always had, okay, we have a better formula, or we have a better price. And this is a case of they're coming to market 30% lower than the nearest alternative. So it's a good price, and it's sold out right away. They sent me this small little sample for 1 month supply to try out, and they said we're already sold out. They had to squeeze that out just to get that out. But I wanted to share that with you. I am going to give it a shot because I did take some time and read into it. It looked interesting enough, and coincidentally, since I'm now pulsing Fisetin, it sort of left the door open for me personally to say, okay, I'll give this a shot and see how my energy level does. Again, I don't know if this is going to be something that I'm going to feel like an NMN or a CAKG or a Fisetin, where I definitely feel better when I take it. But I'll let you know. And, it may be something I take on faith. We'll just have to see. There are things I take on faith. Vitamin C, zinc, magnesium. I don't feel a big change if I take them one day or if I don't. So I take them on faith in the science in those vitamins. Other things that I take, SIRT6 activator, sulforaphane, things like apigenin. I don't feel a big change if I take it or if I don't take it. And I've heard that from other people too, and I get it. I've continued to take them because I like the science that goes behind them, and I take them based on the science and based on faith. And the fact that I'm doing so well with so many do not age supplements factors in for me. So again, as I mention often, there is a link in the description with the discount code. They also have a new points program now. If you didn't check out my last video, you'll know why I work with that brand and not other brands. Even though so many have reached out to me, I've stuck with this one because I simply have had the results, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to keep my ears to the ground on this FDA NMN issue. Report back anything new that I hear, so stay tuned to this channel. See you guys soon.